chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
It's an afternoon probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river. We are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Not really.
Set! 230! 57, come on! Watch the split, watch the split! Watch the split!
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now Roethlisberger. Washington's got it. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. That's complete. It's Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
To throw is Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice and meetings talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
A very solid gain of 27.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, exit. Check. Watch 54. Hey, here we go. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch. There.
Here we go. Hey, ready? Block 80! 54, Mike, 54. You're not ready.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Watch the screen. Tight.
They'll try and run forward with Connor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch tight ends right.
Darnold. Herman's got it complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Now Darnold. Open man is Anderson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
26, Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, wahoo. 26, Mike. 26,
Now it's Darnold. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I've played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take it.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson.
Well, that was point-counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Medion.
26 months. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Now on 2nd and 16, Darnold. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Here's Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Here's Switzer. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Like 20. I'm trying to collect. 22, 54. 57 is the mic. Watch 57. Hey, Alpha. Like 57. 57's right. Go, go. Go, go. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
From just shy of midfield, Roethlisberger going deep to the end zone for Juju. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. The Steelers on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The Jets on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Ready? 180. 50. Let's go, team.
Now Ben on third and long. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish. Okay, you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6. For a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good.
I wasn't even playing.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Girl, I was downstairs cleaning up shit.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And the defense obviously expecting run as well, as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Darnold down to throw. This will be caught by Brown. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
26 Mike. Push him back.
I'm checking.
Push him back.
I'm checking.
Check.
Yeah. I'm checking. Oh, yeah. I'm still checking. I'm checking him. Yeah. I know that who you want.
26 Mike. We got. Watch the
Yeah.
Ready.
And now with the play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Switzer on the return. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at the 40.
Double up. He's coming, double up.
Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. A first down throw, Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
26 Mike, 26 Mike.
Now a draw play. This is Bell. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving.
26 Mike, 26 Mike. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. First catch there for Thomas. It's a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Shut up. Motion, check. Shit. 26 Mike, 26 Mike. Are you getting ahead?
Now a first down carried by Bell. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open.
Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even giving up a defensive touchdown.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter. Because he has such great skills, you want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Here we go.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now Roethlisberger on first down. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 44-yard line.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end.
Check it good. 26.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. He'll get this one to Switzer. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Ben to throw again. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 22-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Now Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Ryan Switzer, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Y'all kind of shit from nothing. Since I'm trying to be generous, I get
the New York offense taking over for their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
They saw it all.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, watch the slant. 50 seconds to mine. 50 seconds.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Boswell for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
Did you go potty? Did you go potty?
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, have your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Darnold now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now the toss to Bell running right. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
26 months. Who that? 26 months. 26 months. Oh, you got deep.
Now on 2nd and 16. Darnold will be taken in by Anderson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He was the leading receiver for the Jets the season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. You'd figure that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. On 1st down, it's Bell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3.
Check. Fresno. Check. Crunch. Check 31. Whip. Watch the whip. Kill. Check your hot read. You got tight right there.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
I think it's that food.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score.
36.
Now Bell. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Second and goal at the Steelers' 3-yard line.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Shoot. He's checking. Ready? Kill. Turn up.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
So on 4th down, the Jets turn to kicker Sam Ficken. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Ficken's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So there will no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk.